Good evening. There is no higher religion than human service. To work for the common good is the greatest creed. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines. His Highness Sheikh Nasser participated in a Royal Humanitarian Foundation annual Khapka. 558 inmates benefited from alternative penalties. Poor visibility hampers vehicle traffic as dust storm envelops Jeddah. UAE announced hike in private school fees. Italy declared state of emergency as migrant numbers surge. 4 soldiers killed in firing at Indian military base. News in detail. His Highness Sheikh Nasser participated in a Royal Humanitarian Foundation annual Khapka. Representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Works and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa participated in the Royal Humanitarian Foundation annual Khapka. His Highness praised the humanitarian efforts of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the honorary President of RHF, and His Majesty's keenness to provide all forms of care to orphans in the kingdom that guarantees safe and stable life for them. Sheikh Nasser affirmed His Majesty's support for humanitarian works in all its forms. He appreciated the extensive support of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, towards RHF and its various initiatives. His Highness Sheikh Nasser wished the RHF children a blessed Ramadan and urged the students to continue achieving the best throughout their studies to reach their ambitions. RHF Secretary General Dr. Mustafa Al Sayed thanked His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad for his great interest and support of the Foundation's affiliates. 558 inmates benefited from alternative penalties. Chief Prosecutor at the Execution Prosecution has stated that the public prosecution continues implementing the alternative penalties and procedures law and its provisions by replacing custodial penalties with alternative ones in accordance with the established regulations and based on the outcome of a study of the conditions of convicts and inmates at the General Directorate of Reformation and Rehabilitation. This is in line with the royal directives to expand the implementation of the alternative sentencing law, taking into account the personal and social conditions of the convicts, as well as the humanitarian reasons for that, he said. He indicated that the public prosecution had received requests from General Directorate of Verdict Enforcement and Alternative Sentencing to replace custodial penalties with alternative sentences for some inmates. He added that the cases had been studied and the penalties of 558 inmates who met the requirements have been replaced, which takes the overall number of those who have benefited from the law since its inception to 5,432 convicts, noting that alternative penalties included carrying out community service and attending rehabilitation and training programs. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman attended the Royal Artillery Ramadan Football Championship for Officers. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa today attended the final match of the Royal Artillery Ramadan Football Championship for Officers at the Royal Artillery Stadium. The championship is organized by the Royal Artillery and held under His Highness's patronage. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman highlighted the important role of BDF plays in creating a collegial environment, particularly during the holy month of Ramadan. His Highness commended the BDF's support for local, regional and international sports competitions and noted their support motivates BDF personnel. After winning the final match 4-2 on penalties, His Highness awarded the General Command Camp Team the championship of the 6th edition of the Royal Artillery Ramadan Football Championship for Officers. His Highness also honored the Royal Bahraini Navy 4, coming in 2nd place, and recognized the tournament's best player, top scorer and best goalkeeper. The commander of the Royal Artillery presented His Highness with a souvenir on this occasion. His Highness congratulated and thanked the commander of the Royal Artillery and all its members for organizing the tournament, as well as the Bahrain Football Association and all participating entities, directorates and teams that contributed to the tournament's success. Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs called on stopping all violations against religious sanctities. The Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs held its ordinary meeting chaired by its president, Sheikh Abdul Rahman bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Khalifa. The Supreme Council extended best wishes to His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Crown Prince and Prime Minister, people of Bahrain and the Islamic world on the blessed last 10 days of Ramadan. The Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs appreciated His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister's order to open, restore and rehabilitate 30 mosques under the Sunni and Jafari endowments administrations. It denounced the storming of Al-Aqsa Mosque by Israeli police and attacking worshippers, deeming it a flagrant violation of religious sanctities and the sanctity of the holy month, calling on the international community to take a firm stance to stop all violations and provocative actions in a way that preserves the rights and religious freedoms of Palestinians. Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance launched Sustainability and Climate Risk Certificate Exam Preparatory Program. The Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance has announced the launch of its new training program developed to prepare students for the Sustainability and Climate Risk Certificate Exam offered by the Global Association of Risk Professionals. Global Association of Risk Professionals Sustainability and Climate Risk Certificate aims to provide knowledge and skills that will empower candidates to recognize climate-driven threats, lead climate risk initiatives, and drive sustainability objectives within their organization. The program also provides participants with an understanding of the legal frameworks and reporting requirements related to sustainability risks and climate change, with an increasing focus on sustainability and climate change risks in the financial industry. This program is considered a crucial step in building the expertise and capacity needed to deal with these issues. Information and E-Government Authority announced provisional results of 2022 Foreign Direct Investment Statistics. The provisional results of the 2022 Foreign Direct Investment Statistics showed a 5.8% increase in FDI volume to BD 13.3 billion, the Information and E-Government Authority announced. The statistics measured the volume and inflows of foreign investments made by key entities in different economic sectors. This data is vital in helping decision makers set suitable policies to attract further investments and contribute to the kingdom's economic development. The statistics showed that the kingdom's annual FDI inflows during 2022 was approximately BD 733.6 million, dominated mostly by electricity, gas, steam and air conditioning supply, manufacturing, financial and insurance sectors at BD 226.8, BD 187.1 and BD 95.5 million respectively. The statistics aimed at identifying sources of foreign investment according to non-resident investors' country of residence, in addition to identify sectors that attracted the most investments. Now we will be back after a very short break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahla. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
Welcome back. Lights of Kindness organized an iftar at Manama bus terminal. Lights of Kindness Social Assistance Drive organized iftar and distributed dinner packets at Manama bus terminal. It is part of Lights of Kindness's Month of Mercy initiative Ramadan 2023 and its ongoing humanitarian activity of last few years in the same venue. Passengers waiting for a bus at the terminal and low-income workers participated in the initiative along with representatives of Lights of Kindness. Poor visibility hampered vehicle traffic as dust storm envelops Jeddah. The Jeddah Governorate and several other parts of Makkah province continued witnessing dust storms, leading to almost no horizontal visibility on the coastal parts of the region on Tuesday. Many motorists were forced to discontinue driving due to poor visibility. Jeddah and other parts of the Makkah region witnessed dust storms on Monday also. There was an increase in temperatures in Makkah and Jeddah on Tuesday, reaching 37 degrees Celsius in Jeddah and 36 degrees Celsius in Makkah, while there was a drop in temperatures in parts of the northern border and Al Juf regions. UAE announced hike in private school fees. The Abu Dhabi Department of Education and Knowledge in UAE has increased tuition fees for private schools for the academic year 2023-24, following the results of the Educational Cost Index. Schools rated outstanding in the Artica inspections for the academic year 2021-2022 have the option to increase their tuition fees with a maximum cap of 3.94% for the new academic year. Schools with a very good rating qualify for a 3.38% tuition fee addition. Schools with a good rating are allowed to apply a 2.81% increase, and schools rated acceptable, weak and very weak can implement a maximum tuition fee increase of 2.25%, reflecting the Educational Cost Index score. The school must also have been operating for a minimum of 3 years to be eligible for a standard tuition fee increase and must follow the approved revised fee structure. Oman to build 3 dams to control Wadi flooding. Oman has announced plans to build 3 dams to prevent flooding in the Sultanate. Sultan Haitham issued 3 royal decrees on Tuesday to construct dams at Wadi al-Ansab in Muscat Governorate, at Wadi Takhwa in South al-Sharqiya Governorate, and at Al-Wadi al-Suhaimi in North al-Beltina. The decrees say that local authorities may acquire land if needed. Under Oman's public utility expropriation law, flooding in Oman's wadis has become more frequent in recent years, particularly as they can fill up fast and without warning during heavy thunder showers. The Royal Oman Police have previously issued a warning that anyone caught crossing the flooded wadis with a vehicle would face 1 week in prison. Oman announced new lifetime driving license guidelines for motorists. Oman's Directorate General of Traffic has announced new regulations for citizens who are eligible for obtaining a lifetime private light vehicle driving license. According to the Royal Oman Police, the lifetime license for Omani citizens will only be available to those who have held a valid driving license for at least 15 years. They must also not be employed as drivers. Additionally, applicants for the lifetime license must also maintain a clean traffic record, having no first category violations in the 3 years before submitting the application. Applicants must also be free from any medical conditions. However, they are still eligible if they use corrective license or glasses. The authorities said that the permanent licenses would be withdrawn if any of these conditions were found to be false. Once the lifetime license is issued for private light vehicles, it will only be valid until the age of 70, after which it must be renewed by the holder. Italy declared state of emergency as migrant numbers surge. Italy's right-wing government on Tuesday declared a 6-month national state of emergency to cope with the surge in migrants arriving on the country's southern shores. State TV said a special commissioner was expected to be named. Associated Press reported today. Initial funding of €5 million was also approved as part of the measure approved by Premier Giorgia Meloni and her cabinet. In a statement after the cabinet meeting, the government said the state of emergency was deemed necessary to carry out with urgency extraordinary measures to reduce congestion at an overwhelmed migrant shelter on a tiny Italian island in the Mediterranean. India hosts 2-day Shanghai Cooperation Organization Young Authors Conference in Delhi starting today. The 2-day-long Shanghai Cooperation Organization Young Authors Conference, organized by the Educational Ministry along with the National Book Trust, commenced in New Delhi on Wednesday based on the theme Civilizational Dialogue amongst the Shanghai Cooperation Organization member nations, Perspectives from Young Scholars. The two-day Young Authors Conference is set to provide a dynamic platform to explore the avenues of modern education, training, and advanced training of youth, wider involvement in entrepreneurial activities, into innovative projects, and the sub-themes include history and philosophy, economy, religion, culture, literature, and science, medicine. 4 soldiers killed in firing at Indian military base. 4 soldiers killed in firing at a military base in the Indian border state of Punjab early on Wednesday, the army said, and a search for the shooters was in progress. An unknown number of shooters were lodged at the base in Bathinda city, a defense source told Reuters. Declining to be named, citing the sensitivity of the matter, Reuters reported. 4 soldiers succumbed to gunshot injuries sustained during the firing incident, which took place in the early hours of Wednesday morning, an army statement said. The statement did not mention the circumstances of or details about who was responsible for the incident. The base was sealed off and a joint investigation with the local police was on, the army statement said, adding that no other injuries and damage to property was reported. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I am Vinod Narayan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.